You've been in this with the Women's Resource Center for 28 yeyears.
Actually, 31.
31.
31.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Someone told me 28.
That's okay. It's a lot of years is what it is.
Seriously.
Yes.
What drew you to the Women's Resource Center to do this work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I wanted to volunteer at an organization that worked with women and children. And so I was looking through back then a telephone book. There used to be blue pages in there with
Yes.
and so I saw something in there about battered women, domestic violence, and I called the number and I spoke with a woman by the name of Barbara Gibson, who I work with today. So she brought me in for a volunteer interview and said I was accepted into the next volunteer class. And I went through the volunteer training, and the majority of the women that were in my volunteer class were survivors of domestic violence.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so I was surrounded by these people who had this very common experience, and was really taken aback at just how prevalent it was.
So you didn't know anything about domestic violence prior to that?
You know, after you start doing this work and you start connecting a few dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember growing up in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had a cousin that I'd never heard of before and just kind of appeared next to my great grandmother's house with her 3 children. And she was recovering from her husband trying to take her life. He had pulled her out into the middle of the street and was going to run over her body. And fortunately, someone was visiting or coming up on them at the time and pulled her out before that fatal drive over her body, and she survived. And so then he went to prison, and then she lived next door to one of our, I guess, in our family homes with her children. And that was the first time I'd ever heard of domestic violence.